I'm Kevin Carnes. As your lead clerk and comptroller, I'm committed to ensuring you have helpful and easy to access service from the clerk's office. This how-to seminar is designed to assist you in navigating your court services and Lee County's official records. You can attend these sessions in person or view them online at leeclerk.org. I hope this convenient service enhances your customer experience with my office.
Hello, and welcome to your Lee County Clerk of Court and Comptroller's Office how-to seminar on sealing and expunging a criminal record. My name is Yesenia Williams. I am the Community Relations Manager for your Lee County Clerk of Court and Comptroller's Office, and I'm delighted to go over this information with you today. A brief overview of our webinar. We'll talk a little bit about some general information revolving sealing and expunging a record, including the differences between the two. We'll go over the automatic sealing process as dictated by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the application process. Once you've applied and have been allowed to move forward with filing a petition with the clerk, we'll go over what that process looks like, obtaining a hearing, what happens after the hearing has been held, and some contact information and available resources. The Clerk's Courts Department is who facilitates the sealing and expungement process for the courts. Our main office is located at 2075 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard on the first and second floor of that building. For criminal matters such as paying a traffic ticket, paying probation, or filing for sealing or expunging a case, you will visit us on the first floor. And on the second floor, you will find services for circuit and county civil matters, including evictions and small claims, as well as family matters such as divorces and civil injunctions for protection. We do have a satellite office located in Cape Coral at 1039 Southeast 9th Place on the second floor. We offer limited services at that office at this time. Filing the sealing and expungement paperwork is one of those services. So if you are a resident of Cape Coral, you can absolutely visit us there. The Clerk's Courts Department has four main functions, including acting as clerk to the courts, completing all of the case processing from the moment a case is opened to the moment a case is closed, providing court financial assessments and support, including the payment and disbursement of fines and fees, and serving as the official record keeper for the courts. Some general information regarding the sealing and expungement process. Florida law does allow for some individuals to seal and/or expunge their criminal records. In both of these instances, these records are no longer available to the public. However, there are some differences regarding that to both of these. So for sealed records, what this does is it places a criminal arrest record under a highly restricted level of access, and it cannot be accessed by unauthorized personnel or without a court order. When a case record is expunged, what this does, it removes and destroys the criminal arrest record from the public record entirely. So if we receive a court order allowing us to expunge a court record, we completely remove it and destroy it. To seal means that we only place it in a highly restricted level of access. There are two main steps in both the sealing and expungement process. The first step is applying for sealing or expungement through the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is ultimately who decides whether or not you are eligible to have a case sealed or expunged. So the first step is applying through their office for eligibility. Once you have been deemed eligible to move forward with sealing or expungement, then you move on to the second step, which is petitioning the courts by filing with the clerk's office, which is our office, and I'll go over both of these steps. Before I go over both of these steps, though, I do want to touch on a recent change to a Florida statute regarding something called automatic sealing. So automatic sealing is governed by Florida Statute 943.0595, subsection 3. And what it allows is automatic sealing of the criminal case that results in what they define as an eligible disposition. So examples of cases that would fall under an eligible disposition are cases where the state attorney's office or the prosecuting authority has not filed an indictment or formal charges, in other words, against the individual, or if these charges have been dismissed, whether by the state attorney's office, which again, the prosecuting authority, or the judiciary. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement will review all cases that are reported to them by the Lee County Clerk's office, and they will provide official notice to the clerk to seal these cases that do qualify under Florida Statute 9430595, subsection 3. Once the clerk receives that notice, then we will secure the case within our case management system. I do want to note that these eligible cases, because we are sealing them, not expunging, they're being sealed, which places them under, again, a highly restricted level of access. They may still appear in a criminal background check. So if this is not something that you are fully satisfied with, then you may need to still follow the formal sealing and expungement process, which we'll go over. Any questions regarding automatic sealing, we encourage you to contact the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, or if you have legal questions, to contact an attorney. This is an example of what that notice looks like that the clerk would receive from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Again, it's just giving us notice that this case qualifies and that we are to seal the case under this Florida statute. When it comes to eligibility, as I mentioned before, this is something that is completely dictated by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. So as defined by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, you may seal or expunge one arrest record in your lifetime. Florida law does allow exceptions to seal or expunge more than one case if they are related to the same arrest, or if they're associated to human trafficking. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement may deny an application if the individual was found guilty, pled guilty, or nolo contendere, which is a Latin term used, for offenses listed under Florida State Statute 9430584. These are your more serious offenses, including sexual misconduct, robbery, or homicide. We do encourage you to contact the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for further clarification, because again, they are the ones who ultimately decide whether or not you are eligible to move forward with petitioning the courts. So the process includes applying again through the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, FDLE. The application is available on the FDLE website. The FDLE allows you to fill the application online and download and print it, or you can just download and print the blank form and fill it out by hand. The clerk's office does have paper copies of this application available, so you are welcome to come visit us in person and we can provide you with that information. This is an example of what the online fill and download application looks like on the FDLE website. You can choose to either expunge or seal a case, and then depending on which one you choose is what your application is going to look like. And then you can either fill it in and then print the form, or you can just download a blank form. This is what the blank form will look like. It is 6 pages with very detailed instructions. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement does a great job of including information in the packet with the different steps that you need to do, and they even include a checklist with in order of what you need to do in order to move forward with the process. It can be a little intimidating because there is a lot of information, but again, if you just follow the steps, it is definitely something that can be accomplished without seeking the assistance of an attorney. You're always welcome to do that. The clerk's office is a ministerial office, so we're not able to assist you with legal advice, but we can provide you procedural information. It does require some information regarding the case that you're seeking to either seal or expunge. You can access the information required by contacting the clerk's office, or using our online court records search platform. You can put in your information and pull up the case and get the information that you need. There is a notarizing component on the form as well. So once you fill it out, on the top half of the first page, the bottom half of the first page does state that you need to sign the form in the presence of a notary. Both of these, once this is completed, you must submit it to the state attorney's office of the county where the case stemmed from to complete the bottom portion. If the case that you are trying to seal or expunge stems from Lee County, the state attorney's office is located at 2000 Main Street in downtown Fort Myers on the 6th floor. They can also be contacted by calling them at 239-533-1000. So once you contact the state attorney's office, they'll review your application and make a preliminary eligibility determination. And again, that does need to be completed prior to submitting the application to the state attorney's, to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Another component of the application process is getting your fingerprints done. The clerk's office does not facilitate that service. You would have to contact your local police department or the sheriff's office. They do charge a nominal fee to have your fingerprints done. We again encourage you to contact them to see how much that fee is, but having your fingerprints completed is part of the application process. So you'll have to get that done. So to kind of summarize the application process, you need to complete the application, including the fingerprints and the state attorney's office portion. Another step is you will need to obtain a certified copy of the final disposition or final outcome of the case that you are trying to seal or expunge. That can be obtained by contacting our office, the clerk's office. You can also go online and obtain this document. There is a fee associated with obtaining the document, whether you do it in person or online. Once you've gathered all of that, the application, the fingerprints, the state attorney's office portion is completed. You have a certified copy of the final outcome or disposition in hand. Then you're going to send that with a cashier's check or money order to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement with what their processing fee is. At this time, their processing fee is $75. Do encourage you to contact or visit their website just to confirm that that fee remains the same, but it needs to be a cashier's check or money order or certified funds. So you'll send all of that off to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. At this time, their website does state that eligibility determination may take up to 12 weeks from the date of submission to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. So I will say this is the section that probably takes the most time, is not completing the application, but once it's submitted to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, just waiting to get that certificate of eligibility back is what takes, I would say, the longest time. Once you get that certificate of eligibility, everything else can move fairly quickly. It depends on you and how quickly the individual does the next steps that we're going to go over. So we've fast forwarded hopefully before 12 weeks, and you've now received your certificate of eligibility to either seal or expunge your case. This is an example of what that will look like. It will outline your basic demographic information and include whether the case can be moved forward to seal or to expunge. So once you have this document in hand, you are ready to petition the courts to have your sealing or expungement finalized. Before you file with the clerk, though, there's just some information that we like to highlight. So prior to petitioning to seal or expunge a case, individuals should request or obtain any case documentation that may be needed for employment with a criminal justice or government agency, application for a change in immigration status, or admission to the Florida bar. Once a case has been sealed or expunged, obtaining any documents within the case without a court order is not permissible, and obtaining a court order can be fairly challenging or time-consuming. So again, we do encourage you to obtain all of this documentation before you move forward with actually sealing or expunging a case, because we would not be able to give it to you once it's finalized without a court order directing us to reopen this case. Most of these case documents can be accessed online by visiting our website. at leeclerk.org/search records. So now that we're ready to file with the clerk, there are some forms you're going to need in addition to that certificate of eligibility. So you'll have that certificate of eligibility in hand because you've received it from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Then the next forms you're going to need are a seal or expunge petition, an affidavit, a notice of hearing, and an order to seal or expunge your case. All of these forms are available on our website at leeclerk.org/forms. We also have them available in person in our lobbies and our self-help room at our main office in downtown Fort Myers, 2075 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. You'll file these forms along with a clerk filing fee. That filing fee at this time is $42. So this is what our forms library looks like. You'll access that by visiting leeclerk.org/forms, and highlighted are all the forms that you're going to need. So you can just click on those. They come up as Word documents and you're able to print them, or you can again visit us and we will provide them to you. So you have that certificate of eligibility. The first thing you're going to file together with that certificate of eligibility is a completed petition and a completed affidavit. The remainder 2 forms will come in later and we'll go over that. So you'll complete the petition, you'll complete the affidavit, you'll come with your certificate of eligibility, and you'll have that filing fee ready as well. The filing fee does not need to be in certified funds. That can be cash, credit, check, money order, or it can be a personal check. You can file these forms online, in person, or through U.S. mail. Online, you would do it by visiting myfloridacourtaccess.com, where you can upload the forms and file that way. In person, at our main office at 2075 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard on the 1st floor, or in our Cape Coral office at 1039 Southeast 9th Place on the 2nd floor. And our mailing address, if you'd rather do it that way, it is P.O. Box 2507, Fort Myers, Florida 33902. This is an example of what the petition looks like. So before filing, of course, you need to make sure that this petition is completely filled out. It asks for some basic information, but it also asks for information regarding the case that you are trying to seal or expunge. By this time, you should have all of this information, but if you do need it, you can contact us or visit us online to obtain it, including the arrest record, the arrest information, and charge information. This is an example of what the affidavit looks like. Again, just need to include your name, case number, some arrest information that you should already have. The difference with completing the affidavit is an affidavit is a sworn statement, right? So it does have a notary component. So you can either come see us and we'll provide that notary service for you for a nominal fee. At this time, it's $10. Or you can go wherever else, perhaps your bank, to get it notarized. But before filing it, it does have to have the notary portion completed. So once you've filed all of this information with the clerk's office is going to go ahead and process it and put it on your case. The next step after it's been filed, though, is you need to have a hearing. So a hearing is required in order to finalize the sealing or expungement. So once you've filed these initial documents, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to allow 24 to 48 hours for the processing of your petition. Again, the clerks need to take it in and make sure it's processed and make its way to your case. Once you've waited that time, you're going to contact the judicial assistant of the judge that's assigned to your case, and the clerk's office can provide that information to you if you do not know it. And then you can obtain that contact information online by visiting ca.cjus20.org, or again, the clerk's office can provide that information to you. If you choose to search for the information online, I'll go ahead and walk you through what that looks like. Once you visit the judiciary's website, on the main page, you can click on Judges and Magistrates. On this page, you'll choose whether or not you want to search for a county judge or a circuit judge, and in what county you're in within the judicial the 20th Judicial Circuit, which is the circuit that we live in, you are looking for. We're going to search Lee County for the purpose of this presentation. Once we do that, it brings us up all of the county court judges. We're going to go ahead and pick on Judge Gagliardi for the purpose of this presentation. Once you click on their name, you will have all of their contact information, including their judicial assistant's name and their direct number. Once you contact their office, the judicial assistant will go ahead and confirm that the documents are on your case, and they'll provide you with the following hearing information, including the date of the hearing, the time of the hearing, and in what courtroom the hearing is going to be held. This information should be included on the notice of hearing, which is, if you recall, is one of the forms that you've already printed from our forms library, and subsequently filed with the clerk of the court. This is what that notice of hearing looks like. So again, you'll include the date, the time, and the courtroom on here, as well as your case number and your name. If you'll notice on the bottom of this page, there is something called a certificate of service. And what this means is that you are certifying that a true and correct copy of this document is being forwarded to the following agencies, including the state attorney's office, the arresting agency, and if it's an arresting agency other than the Lee County Sheriff's Office, then you would also have to provide service to the Sheriff's Office. And it can simply just be a copy of this document. It is, again, your responsibility to provide this notice to all of these agencies. So you're at your hearing, and now you're going to bring the last form that you've printed from the website, which is, or obtained from our office, which is the order to expunge or seal your records. This is the document that the judge is going to sign, either granting or denying your order. So the only thing that you would have to fill out on this document would be your name on the top left-hand corner and the case number on the top right-hand corner. And then the clerk will take that document from you, and hopefully the judge will go ahead and grant your expungement or sealing, and they will sign it. So once the judge has signed the order, they will give the order to the clerk's office for processing. So once the clerk's office has received the court order and has processed the court order, all of the parties associated with the case will receive an electronically certified copy of both the signed order and the certificate of eligibility that was submitted with the petition to seal or expunge. Various parties will be serviced for case removal, including the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the Lee County Sheriff's Office, any arresting agency, if it was an arresting agency other than the Lee County Sheriff's Office, the attorney of record or the petitioner, and any other case-related parties. So this completes the seal or expungement process. On our end, we have done what we need to do, either seal, which is highly restrict, or expunge, which is completely remove the case from our case file. And then we've also notified all of the parties that we need to notify. So some helpful links for you. The Lee County Clerk Self-Help Center has a variety of information and resources for you, including computers where you can print whatever forms it is that you need or download any forms that you need. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement's website is also a great resource. They have a phenomenal frequently asked questions document that walks you through the entirety of the process. Again, it can seem somewhat intimidating because there are a lot of steps, but if you read and follow the steps carefully, then it is a fairly simple process. So the clerk's office is here to provide you with any procedural information or support that you need. If you're seeking legal advice or you have questions regarding eligibility, that is not something we can help with. You would have to contact the Florida Department of Law Enforcement or seek legal advice from an attorney. So that concludes our presentation for today. I do encourage you to connect with us to find out the latest and greatest going on with your Lee County Clerk's Office, including upcoming seminars, events, and trainings. My contact number, direct contact number, is also available here. You can call me at 239-533-2763 or email me at ywilliams@leeclerk.org, and I will definitely try to give you any information or assistance that you need. If I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you. I also encourage you to subscribe to our newsletter at leeclerk.org/subscribe and follow us on our social media channels. Thank you for watching.